What's up, E? Okay, so today I'm bringing you my July TBR. Let me show you the stack. Here we have the stack. Tim is scraping the grill over there, so in case you're wondering what that sound is, it's that. But here's my stack of TBR. And without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? Oh, that's just my shadow. Okay, first we have Paris, the Memoir by Paris Hilton. I've actually already read this month. It was so good, I gave it 5 stars. I don't usually give star ratings to memoirs unless it's 5 stars. But this one was 5 stars, so I felt like it's fine to give a rating. I've already been a fan of Paris Hilton. I actually really like her. But if you have like some idea of her that is negative, or like you think she's just some airhead, like spoiled rich girl, like some bimbo, like just a piece of trash, this memoir might, well, it should like give you a different idea about her, because she's really been through so much, and yeah, it should give you a different outlook of her. But yeah, I gave this 5 stars. I read it the first day of July. The next book on my TBR, which I've already read too, I've been reading, y'all, is I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I think that's how you say her last name. His last name? Her? I think it's a girl. But I did not like. I gave it 1 star. Because maybe I just don't like YA, but there are other YA books I like, so I'm like, maybe it's not that. But I didn't really like it. I felt like it was a ripoff of Paper Towns, and I didn't read Paper Towns, but I've seen the movie, and I didn't really like it, and it's okay not to like books, you know? So, I Kiss Shara Wheeler was my second book on my TBR. The third book I'm reading is called Shuggie Bane by Douglas Stewart. I started this yesterday. I got to page 24. It's pretty good so far, but I picked up this book from Barnes & Noble because it actually said that it is just as sad as A Little Life. And if y'all know me, if y'all know this channel, you know I love A Little Life. So I was like, get ready to be traumatized and cry, y'all. I can't wait. But I'll read the back to you. Shuggie Bane is the unforgettable story of Hugh Shuggie Bane, a sweet and lonely boy who spends his 1980s childhood in a rundown public housing in Gaslow, Scotland, taking care of his beloved mother, Agnes. Agnes is a proud, beautiful woman who turns herself out like her idol, Elizabeth Taylor, but she is an alcoholic and spends most of the family's weekly benefits on extra strong lager and bottles of vodka. A heartbreaking story of addiction, sexuality, and love, Shuggie Bane is an epic portrayal of a working-class family and a queer childhood from a masterful novelist, one of the most talented debut writers of recent years. Oh, so this was his debut. That's awesome. But see how, like, thick this looks? I don't know. I thought this looked thick, but it's only, like, 400-some pages, so I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, Shuggie Bane is the next one on the list. Then we have, I started this last month, Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann. It's about, here, I'll just read the back to you. In the 1920s, the richest people per capita in the world were members of Osage Nation in Oklahoma. After oil was discovered beneath their land, they rode in chauffeured cars and lived in mansions. Then, one by one, the Osage began to be killed. Molly Burkhart watched as her family became a prime target. Her relatives were shot and poisoned. Other Osage were also dying under mysterious circumstances, and many of those who investigated the crimes were themselves murdered. As the death toll rose, the case was taken up by the newly created FBI and its young, secretive director, J. Edgar Hoover. Struggling to crack the mystery, Hoover turned to a former Texas Ranger named Tom White, who put together an undercover team, including a Native American agent. They infiltrated this last remnant of the Wild West, and together with the Osage began to expose one of the most chilling conspiracies in American history. So the reason I started this and didn't finish it last month is because I got about 50 pages in, and it, like, I'm Native American, so I was just like, okay, this happened, like, not to my tribe, but this happened to other natives. And just, like, being taken advantage of and being murdered in cold blood and stuff. It was a lot to take, and very traumatic and just very upsetting. So I couldn't read it all, like, in one go and just call it good. So I read 50 pages of it last month, and then I will finish it this month. So yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann. Then we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. Yes, this is all over Book Talk, like when it came out and stuff, or BookTube. But Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrews writes the best-selling romance. When she pens A Happily Ever After, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another, and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and she'll take her to interview surviving members of a backwards death cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book and no one will fall in love, really. See, I think that sounds so cute. And I read Happy Place by Emily Henry and loved it. So I can't wait to read. I can't wait to read Beach Read by Emily Henry. And the next book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So we have these two books. They're not like sequels to each other, but they're in the same universe. And then I still need to get, what's it called? People We Meet on Vacation. Hi, Yona. Oh, little Yoni Hill. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, Beach Read by Emily Henry is the next one. But Book Lovers is Nora Stevens' life as books. She reads them all, and she is not that type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. And, Yona, do you mind? In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent, and her beloved little sister, Libby. Which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina, for the month of August, when Libby begs her sister for a sister's trip away, with visions of a small-town transformation for Nora, who she's convinced needs to become the heroine of her own story. But instead of picnics and meadows, or run-ins with a handsome country doctor, or a bulging four-armed bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute, if not for the fact they've met many times and it's never been cute. If Nora knows she's not an ideal heroine, Charlie knows he's nobody's hero, but as they are thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, when what they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. See, I think both Book Lovers and Beach Read sound so good. Everybody, all the girlies recommend them. Dilly barking. All the book girlies recommend them, so I definitely will give it a shot. Okay, that's annoying. But next on the list is The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley. Rowley? I'm not sure. But I got this book, a hardback, from Amazon. I saw it all over the LGBT Bookstagram recommendations, and it's a new book, so I will be doing a review on this when I read it. I have the audiobook waiting on Libby. But I'll read the synopsis. It's been a minute or 5 years since Jordan Vargas last saw his college friends, and 28 years since their graduation from Berkeley, when their adult lives officially began. Now Jordan, Jordy, Naomi, Craig, and Mariel find themselves at the brink of a new decade with all the possibilities of adulthood, yet no closer to having their lives figured out, though not for lack of trying. Over the years, they've reunited in Big Sur to honor a decades-old pact to throw each other living funerals, celebrations to remind themselves that life is worth living, that their lives mean something to one another, if not to themselves. But this reunion is different. They're not gathered as they bolster Marielle as her marriage crumbled, to lift Naomi after her parents died, or to intervene when Craig pleaded guilty to art fraud. This time, Jordan is sitting on a secret that will upend their pact. A deeply honest tribute to the growing pains of selfhood and the people who keep us going, coupled with Stephen Rowley's signature humor and heart. The Celebrants is a moving tale about the false invincibility of youth and the beautiful ways in which friendship helps us celebrate our lives, even amid the deepest challenges of living. I thought this book sounded similar to the movie It's My Party. That's a good movie, by the way, but obviously, like, just with the funeral and, like, the friends getting together and stuff, so not, like, an exact carbon copy like I Kissed Cheryl Wheeler. But yeah, I thought this sounded good. It's LGBT, gay, whatever. So I was excited to read it. I tried to read it during Pride Month, but the audiobook was not ready. I could have read it, but whatever. But yeah, The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley. Then I'm going to read Best Men by Sydney Carger. I got this book at Barnes & Noble. It's a gay romance. So I'll read the back to you real quick. When two best men in a wedding party fall for each other, they realize love isn't a piece of cake in this hilarious and heartfelt romantic comedy debut by screenwriter Sydney Carger. Max Moody thought he had everything figured out. He's trying to live his best life in New York City, and he has the best friend a gay guy could ask for, Paige. She and Max grew up next door to each other in the suburbs of Chicago. She can light up any party. She finishes his sentences. She's always a reliable splunch. They don't like to use the word brunch. Partner. But then Max's whole world is turned upside down when Paige suddenly announces some big news. She's engaged and wants Max to be her man of honor. Max has always been the romantic one who imagined he would get married before the unpredictable Paige, and he's shocked to hear she's ready to settle down. But it turns out there's not just one new man in Paige's life, and there are two. There's the groom, Austin, that's my name, who's a perfectly nice guy. Then there's his charming, fun, and ridiculously handsome gay younger brother, Chasten, who's Austin's best man. As Paige's wedding draws closer, Max, the introverted Midwesterner, and Chasten, I'm not sure, the social butterfly East Coaster, realize they're like oil and water. Yet they still have to figure out how to coexist in Paige's life while not making her wedding festivities all about them. But can the tiny romantic spark between these two very different guys transform them from playing their best man supporting roles into being the leading best men in each other's lives? So, yeah, best men. Then I have Dark Hearts. I also got this from Barnes & Noble by James L. Sutter. I thought this sounded interesting because it's like about pop stars, gay pop stars that are like in a group together or something and then they get together. Here, let me read you the synopsis. When David quit his band, he missed a shot at fame, trapped in an ordinary high school life with his ex-best friend Chance. Became the hottest teen pop star in America. When tragedy throws David and Chance back into contact. As old wounds break open, the boys find themselves trading frenemy status for a confusing secret romance, one that could be David's ticket back into the band and the spotlight. As the mixture of business and pleasure become a power keg, David will have to choose. Is this his second chance at glory or his second chance at chance? See, I thought that sounded so cute. And it said, perfect for fans of Alice Oseman. And I really enjoyed Heartstopper. So yeah, Dark Hearts. Then the last book on my TBR. So what do we have? 1, 2 that I've read already. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll probably read more than this, but yeah, 10 on my TBR. The Edge of Being by James Brandon. I just thought this was a cute cover, and the synopsis sounded good, so I'll read that real quick for you. 17-year-old Isaac Fig Griffin has always felt something was missing from his life, and for good reason. He's never met his dad. As his friends all look forward to graduation and their lives beyond, Fig can't help but look back, becoming more and more fixated on the question mark that is his father. Fig has just started to believe that the scattered pieces of his life will never coalesce into something more when he discovers a hidden box hidden deep in the attic of his father with his father's name on it. The unexpected clue points Fig to San Francisco, and he sets off with his boyfriend Christopher to find the answers he's been wanting his whole life. When his vintage station wagon breaks down en route, and possibly his relationship too, Fig and Christopher are rescued by Max, an unusual girl with familiar pain of her own, who takes them the rest of the way. Excuse me. As Isaac's family history is revealed, he finds himself drawing closer to Max, using notes his dad has written decades ago, and the two of them retrace his father's steps during the weeks leading up to the Compton's cafeteria riot in 1966. Isaac always thought that finding his dad would be how he found himself, but it turns out the truth is more complicated than that. Intensely moving, The Edge of Being is a tender, heartfelt exploration into the deep roots of loss and the joy of second chances and new love. So yeah, I just thought that was cute. I don't have a good relationship with either of my dads, so I just thought this was going to be good and I would like it. So yeah, I bought it and I'm going to read it. Oh, I guess I do have one more book. This is like a TED Talk book, and it's like, how many pages? 48 pages. But We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I hope I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm not. But yeah, We Should All Be Feminists. It's like a TED Talk, but they put it into a book. And I plan on reading it. So yeah, this is my TBR for the month. Let's get it done. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, and please, please, please subscribe if you could, please. And thank you so much for watching. Peace.